Hey everybody, Ryan here. Alright, gonna get all the games for the 29th of March out of the way here in this video. Not out of the way, but get it done here in this video. Alright, if you had not already done so, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out, helps this channel out. Alright, let's get started with the games from the 29th of March 2021. First game between Philly and Buffalo. Can Buffalo end the 17-game losing streak? Is it in the cards tonight? No. And this one probably hurts the most out of all of them, because this one they were up 3-0 going into the third, and they still lost. Ugh. But good news for Philly, they won a game. Good for them. They still allowed 3 goals though. And Carter Hart is benched through at least the next 2 games according to their coach because they wanted to work on his game. So that hurts too. Well, I guess not really. He has not had a good year, so maybe not. But still, hopefully he can fix that. Alright, Philadelphia wins this one 4-3 in overtime. Scoring started 17:41 of first. Henry Yoki Harju scored his second of the year from Curtis Lazar and Kyle Pozo. Yes, Kyle Pozo still does play. It doesn't seem like it at times. Second period, 2:10 in. Cody Eakin's second of the year. I forgot he was with Buffalo, honestly. From Tobias Reeder, I forgot he was with Buffalo too. And Riley Sheehan. At 12:43 into the second, Brandon Montour's second of the year from Tage Thompson and Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall still not yet traded. I have a feeling that he's going to be coming in the next couple weeks. Alright, 1:50 into the third, Philadelphia starts the comeback. Kevin Hayes, 11th of the year from Travis Sanheim. 10:51 into the third. Claude Giroux's 9th from Sean Couturier and Jakub Voracek. Then at 18:31, Couturier's 10th of the year from Provorov and Giroux. Then it took all of 42 seconds to continue the losing streak to 18 games for Buffalo. Provorov's 5th of the year from Konechny. There you go. Philadelphia outshot Buffalo 36-32. They beat them in face-off dot 54-46. Power plays 0 for 2 each, 4 penalty minutes each. Hits 12-10 in favor of Buffalo. Blocks 16-11 in favor of Buffalo. And giveaways 8-2. Buffalo with 8. Elliott had 29 saves for a 906 save percentage in the win for Philadelphia. And Omar 32 saves, 889 save percentage in the loss. He was good through the first 2 periods. Then it went downhill. Alright. On to the New York Islanders versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins this one 2-1. 2:24 in the first period. Anthony Angelo's second of the year on the power play from John Marino and Mike Matheson. Then at 18:28 into the first, Jared McCann's 8th of the year from Marino's 5th and Matheson's 5th. That would end up being your game-winning goal right there. Islanders would bring it within 1. 9:22 into the second, Matt Martin's 6th on the power play. Yes, that is right. Matt Martin, of all people, got a power play goal from Matthew Barzal and Nick Leddy. If you're an Islanders fan, let me know if he normally plays on the power play. I don't get to catch their games too often, so he doesn't seem like the perfect power play guy, but he also seems like a guy who'd be good in front of the net. So I can see it, but I don't see it at the same time. Alright, shots on goal were 25-22 in favor of the Islanders. Face-offs 56-44 in favor of Pittsburgh. Power play 1 for 4 for the Islanders, 1 for 3 for Pittsburgh. Penalty minutes 8-6, Pittsburgh with 8. Hits, this was a heavy hitting game. 52 for the Islanders to 23 for the Penguins. Blocks 14-9 in favor of Pittsburgh, and giveaways 8-2, Pittsburgh with 8. Varlamov had 20 saves for a 909 save percentage for loss. And DeSmith had 19 saves, 950 save percentage. And then Jerry came in, 5 saves, 1000 save percentage. I am unsure as to why. I believe DeSmith left with an injury is what I remember. Is what I believe it was. Let me look that up and I will get back to this. Alright, so I looked it up. I'm sorry. I had that backwards. Jerry started the game. Left with an upper body injury, and DeSmith had 19 saves, 950 save percentage in relief of Jerry. So hopefully Jerry's not out long. I mean, at least Pittsburgh does have DeSmith, so I mean they're okay. I think either way, but Jerry needs to be okay. I mean, I think he is the one that they're going to end up keeping out of the two. But We'll see. But hopefully he's alright. Alright. Edmonton versus Toronto. And this one goes to Edmonton. 3-2 in overtime. 6:15 into the first, Josh Archibald scores his 6th of the year from Chris Russell and Jujhar Khaira. I didn't realize Khaira was back in the lineup. I'm glad he's alright. Alright, then at 7:59, but less than 2 minutes later, Mitch Marner's 13th from Zach Hyman and Justin Hall. Then at 11:08 of the first, Austin Matthews scores his 23rd of the year from Mitch Marner and Justin Hall. So no scoring in the second. Edmonton ties the game. 1:20 into the third, Kyle Turris scores his 2nd of the year from Adam Larson and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Then in overtime, it takes 17 seconds for the Oilers to win in overtime. Darnell Nurse's 12th of the year from Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. So McDavid does get a point tonight. Alright. Maple Leafs outshot the Oilers 31-23. Faceoffs were 56-44 in favor of the Maple Leafs. Both teams 0 for 1 with 2 penalty minutes each. Hits were 33-22 in favor of Edmonton. Blocks 12-8 in favor of Toronto. Giveaways 19-17, Toronto with 19. Goalies, Smith had 29 saves for 935 save percentage. Hutchinson 20 saves for 870 save percentage, and the loss. On to Anaheim versus Colorado. This was a bit of a chippy game, to be honest with you. Colorado won this one 5-2. At one point in the first period, what was it? It was Ryan Getzlaf of Anaheim and Belmar of Colorado got into it after a whistle, after Belmar slashed Getzlaf up high after a whistle. Getzlaf punched him. Then Ryan Graves grabbed Getzlaf and Belmar punched him in the face while he was being held. So you'll see more of those two later on in this. And then later on in the first, was it Josh Manson, I believe it was, of the Ducks, cross-checked Mikko Rantanen in the arm, and he was holding the arm pretty good for the rest of the period. But he came back out and played the rest of the game from what I saw. So I think he ended up being okay. I think it just probably hit a nerve and gave him dead arm for a little while. That's probably what happened, because he wasn't holding a stick the entire time on the bench the rest of the period after that happened. I think it was in the last 5 minutes. But still, he didn't play the rest of that period and sat there with no stick in his hands, just holding his arm. But luckily, it seemed like he was okay. Probably, just like I said, a dead arm. I mean, he broke his arm when he he broke his stick when he cross-checked his arm. So hopefully he's alright. Don't want to see someone like Rantanen going down, that's for sure. Alright, so scoring actually started at 2:56 at first. Mikko Rantanen's 20th of the year from Nathan MacKinnon. Then 9:14 into the first. Denon Heinen's 5th of the year from Max Comtois and Ben Hutton. Then at 3:59 of the second, this is when it gets out of hand for Anaheim. 3:59 into the second, Tyson Joe's 3rd from Ryan Graves and Valerie Nichushkin. At 16:20 of the second, Gabriel Landeskog's 12th of the year on the power play from Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon. Then the Ducks would actually make it a 1-goal game again. Troy Terry, 7th of the year at 3:19 of the third, unassisted. Then at 7:26 into the third, it's done at this point. 7:26 into the third, JT Compher's 4th from Logan O'Connor and Makar. Then at 9:30 into the third, Nichushkin scores his 8th of the year from Makar and Jonas Donskoy, who had a really good game. Donskoy had a very good game. He was very noticeable in this game. 9:33 of the third, Ryan Getzlaf and Pierre-Edouard Belmar. I'm kind of surprised Belmar took the fight, honestly. But they end up fighting. Got it out of their system. It was all done after that. Then later on in the third, at like the 15:07 mark, Delorier of Anaheim went after Nazem Kadri, because we all know Kadri likes to talk a lot. And last game he got a free sucker punch in on Delorier after a whistle. So Delorier still wants that guy to drop the gloves, and luckily for Kadri, he's not dumb enough to drop him with him, because he is not fighting his category, that's for sure. So that's a smart choice on Kadri's part. But still, they obviously have a hatred between each other, so that'll be interesting in the next 2 games they play, or next game they play, and the following 2. See how that one works out, but still, I don't think that Kadri's going to be dumb enough to drop his gloves with Delorier. That's not smart on his part. But still, that's all the craziness. I mean, there was a lot of chippiness, a lot of post-whistle scrums. No fights other than the one. But still, it was interesting to see. All right, Colorado outshot Anaheim 48-15. So, amazing. Anaheim had 2 goals and 15 shots. Faceoffs were 50 each. Power play 0 for 2 for Anaheim, 1 for 6 for Colorado. Penalty minutes 31-13. Anaheim with 31. Delorier had a 2-minute penalty and a 10-minute misconduct. That's why it jumped up so much. Hits were 10-8 in favor of Anaheim. Blocks 13-11 in favor of Colorado. Giveaways 4-1. Colorado with 4. I'm actually proud of the Ducks. Only 1 giveaway. It's a miracle. Miller had 43 saves, 896 save percentage in the loss, and Grubauer 13 saves, 867 save percentage in the win. LA versus Vegas. Vegas wins this one 4-1. LA scored their one and only goal at 1 minute into the first. Matt Roy's second from Gabriel Velarde and Jeff Carter. By the way, LA made a trade today. They traded Amadio to Ottawa for Christian Wolanin. So, if you're an LA fan, there you go. Not surprised. Amadio was one of those ones they were talking about because I believe he's the one who's a UFA after this year. So, not surprised. And he's not producing what they had hoped. So, they shipped him out for a defender. Alright. 4:04 into the second. Riley Smith begins the onslaught for Vegas in this period. His 7th of the year on the power play from Jonathan Marchessault and Mark Stone. Then at 16:28 into the second, Tomasz Nosek's 4th of the year from Zach Whitecloud and William Carrier. At 17:54, Nicholas Hague scores his 4th of the year from Marchessault and William Karlsson. Then at 12:35 of the third, Vegas will score their 4th and final goal. Alec Martinez scores his 5th of the year against his former team from Keegan Kolesar and Shea Theodore. LA outshot Vegas 25-24. Faceoffs were 60-40 in favor of LA. Power plays 0 for 3 for LA, 1 for 3 for Vegas. 6 penalty minutes each. Hits 19-18 in favor of LA. Blocks 19-15 in favor of Vegas. Giveaways 3-2, Vegas with 3. Jonathan Quick made 20 saves, 833 save percentage for a loss. And Leonard made 24 saves, 960 save percentage for the win. And now our last and final game of the evening. Winnipeg versus Calgary. Winnipeg wins this one 5-1. The scoring began 2:24 into the first. Calgary scores their one and only goal. Elias Lindholm's 9th of the year. I forgot to write that was a power play goal from Matthew Tkachuk and Johnny Gaudreau. Then at 16:19 of the first, Winnipeg starts taking over this game. Well, they started before then, but they really did with the scoring at least at this point. 16:19 into the first, Nate Thompson's 2nd from Dylan DeMello and Trevor Lewis. At 18:13 into the first, Mark Scheifele's 14th from Kyle Connor and Nikolai Ehlers. At 3:31 into the second, Scheifele's 15th from Ehlers and Connor. Then at 14:31, Andrew Copp's 11th from Ehlers and Scheifele. As you can tell, Ehlers and Scheifele had a really good game, as did Connor. And 1:04 into the third, Pierre-Luc Dubois scores his 7th from Blake Wheeler and Paul Stastny. Calgary outshot Winnipeg 30-29. Both teams have 50% on the faceoff dot. Power plays 0 for 2 for Winnipeg, 1 for 4 for Calgary. Penalty minutes 8 for Winnipeg. Hits 23-18 in favor of Calgary. Blocks 11-8 in favor of Calgary. And giveaways 13-10, Calgary with 13. Hellebuck 29 saves, 967 save percentage. Markstrom had 19 saves, 826 save percentage, and Rittich 5 saves, 833 save percentage. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, there was one more game of the evening. Sorry about that. Minnesota versus San Jose. San Jose wins this one 4-3 in shootout. At 2:57 of the first, Jeffrey Viel, playing in his 2nd game of the year for San Jose, fights Luke Johnson of Minnesota playing his 7th game of the year. I think that's more of an AHL rivalry there, or issue, I have a feeling, because they were yapping a lot before the game and right before this happened. Alright, 12:41 of the first, Marcus Johansson's 4th of the year from Kevin Fiala and Ryan Hartman. Then at 16:04 of the first, Radim Šimić scores his 2nd of the year from Ryan Donato and John Leonard. Then at 19 minutes of the first, Nick Bonino's 4th of the year from Joel Eriksson Ek and Jordan Greenway. Then at 15:45 of the second period, Erik Karlsson ties it for San Jose, his 3rd of the year from Evander Kane. Then at 4:11 of the third, Erik Karlsson scores his 4th of the year from Ryan Donato and Dylan Gambrell to make it 3-2. Minnesota responds, tying the game. Kevin Fiala's 10th of the year from Matt Dumba and Marcus Johansson. Erik Karlsson would end up getting a pseudo hat trick, not a real true hat trick because shootout goals don't count as goals, but he would get the shootout winning goal. So there you go. San Jose wins it in shootout. San Jose outshot Minnesota 39-25. Face-offs, San Jose won 58-42. Minnesota had no power plays. San Jose was 0 for 1. Penalty minutes were 7-5. Minnesota was 7. Hits 20-17 in favor of San Jose. Blocks 19-17 in favor of Minnesota. Giveaways 11-7. San Jose with 11. Cam Talbot 36 saves, 923 save percentage, and Jones 22 saves, 880 save percentage. And there you go. That's all the games for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that subscribe button. And if you have not already subscribed, thank you for watching anyways. If you are a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. Make sure to like, comment, and share, and I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.